Hello everyone, and welcome back to the hobby farm. One thing being up here in Minnesota, the winters are long and they're cold, and not everything gets all cleaned up in the wintertime. You just kind of pretty much do your best to get the animals fed, keep everybody comfortable, and in the springtime things are a mess. We're going through a stretch here of some real nice weather. Today it got up to about 77 degrees. Average high right now is 52 or 53. And it's supposed to be nice for the next couple days and not a real big chance of rain. So I'm taking this opportunity to get this place cleaned up a little bit. I got pigs coming this week. Spring is here. It's time to get things moving. Right now I'm starting out just cleaning up in my little chicken barn slash rabbit barn. And then I've got my brooders and stuff in here. There was at least 50 bags of empty feed just sitting in piles here. So I got that cleaned up right now. And now I'm going to clean out the rabbit pen, little rabbit cage, and get things raked up here. You always got to scoop up everything underneath the chicken roost. Oh man, does that stuff stink. What are you guys doing up there, huh? Should be outside playing with the other ones. I have duck eggs that I just put on lockdown in the incubators. Some of those should be hatching. So I want to get the brooder cleaned out. All the cords out there because I don't need to run the heaters anymore for the water. Alright, well, it looks a little bit better in here now. Tomorrow, if it's a nice day, start working up here on the outside. Check everything out for the pigs and all that stuff. But it's just about 8 o'clock at night right now, so I will see you guys in the morning. Good morning, everybody. It's a nice 63 degrees today. Now they're saying it's going to go up to 80 today, so I'm going to get moving, get this place cleaned up. When I was raising pigs a couple years ago here, we had to open up this cage up into this part here because that one flooded in the spring. That's why I don't want to winter pigs anymore. Yeah, so I'm going to till this up. It's got huge ruts from where they dug in here and everything, so I'm going to till this a little bit and try to smooth that out. Well, it's looking a lot cleaner anyway. I'm gonna run in and have some lunch, and then maybe later this afternoon I'm gonna come out and I need to dig this thing out of the pig pen here. This is the actual crate that I made, just a cheapy little crate to throw in the back of the truck to haul the pigs home. I used this when I picked them up a couple of years ago, and then I threw it in here for them to have a little shelter that they seemed comfortable with, I guess, and now they've dug all the dirt up. I can't even remember if I have a bottom in that or not. I know I shove it in my truck, and then I just have the tailgate hit against the side that's open right there so they can't get out. So anyway, I'll come out later and get that dug up so later this week I can go pick up the pigs. You know, it's been about 14 months since I butchered the last pig. And for half of the summer last year you could smell pigs still, and now you don't at all. But I just dug this thing up, and man, it smells like pigs so bad. I thought for sure that that would have composted down into just dirt, but still stinky dirt. Should be sturdy enough to bring those 3 little ones home. I'm going to build a different feeder system, the same trough type deal, just a little bit bigger once the pigs get a little bit bigger. And then just going to modify it a little bit so that I don't have so much waste of feed. Last year they wasted a lot of feed by kicking it out, and there's just a few things I could have changed that would have helped that quite a bit. Also, once they get a little bit bigger, I'm going to do a different watering system. I'm looking at a couple different kinds. There's one that's like one of them plastic 55-gallon drums, but it actually has like a water, I don't know, a little spigot thing on it, almost like what you see for rabbits, but it's a little bigger for pigs. Looking at that, something other than they had that metal, not really pail, whatever it was last time, and they'll drink out of it and then they tip it over right away. So definitely want to do something different with that. So that's about all I'm going to do out here now. I got the rabbit and chicken barn done and everything else. Eventually I'm going to come in and clean out the birds' cages out here. But not today. I think I've done enough out here for today. It looks nice and clean. My 2 beautiful daughters are hanging out at the house. Last weekend out here in the workshop I made a couple of beehives. If you guys are subscribed to my other channel in Northern Seclusion, all the videos that I have with my girlfriend Melissa down in Louisiana, hatching of the baby chicks and stuff like that, and all her chickens, you've seen that the stuff that she's been going through with our first beehives that we have down there. The hives that she has down there now, we bought those. And these beehives, you know, they're not very cheap. Just to get, like, for instance, you get a bottom board, you get the deep super, you get the top cover, the inner cover, and the frames in here. That'll run you a little bit over $100. And that's just for, you know, that's just a starter kit. And then after they fill this one up, then you're going to have to go ahead and buy another super, deep super, put on top of that. And once that fills up, then you have to purchase, this is a medium here, or a honey super, and put that on top to get your honey. So you're talking, you know, you're into it, you're over 200 bucks once you get into this. By making my own boxes and the top and the bottom and everything, I did save quite a bit of money. I did go ahead and buy these frames already made, and I'm still looking into. If I want to make those myself, you can buy the waxed foundation already made. You know, you just cut it into what sizes you need and you can put it in there. I'm just trying to figure out in my head if it's worth my time making the frames, which I can easily do out here in the workshop, and then still buying the foundation, or if it's not worth my time and just go ahead and buy them. When you buy these bee boxes already made, they do these with a box cut, a box joint in here, not the dovetail. If you were making them themselves, you don't have to do any of this. I could have just cut them, glued them, screwed them, and they're, you know, they're not going to maybe last 10 years, but they're going to last at least 5 years, which would have been fine. But I decided to go ahead and do it with my, do the dovetail, just so I could get the practice of doing that. Melissa bought me this dovetail jig 2 Christmases ago, and I had not used it at all. I kept looking at it thinking, man, that thing looks way too complicated. But I need to make a bunch more bee boxes for down there, and when I go down, well, it'll be next winter, I want to bring a whole bunch down, and I wanted to make some up here, so it gave me a chance to use this thing, make some mistakes, and just figure out how to do it, and in the end, it was pretty simple. So not only do I have very strong bee boxes, I also learned how to do something that I didn't know how to do before, so it just worked out perfect for me. So I think this afternoon now, some of these are not glued together yet. I wasn't sure if I was going to send these down south or if I was going to do a double hive here, so now I'm going to get these glued and screwed together, and then I'd like to get some of this painted, because we have a couple of nice days here and it's not going to be very long, and I have to get these beehives out there because the flowers are going to start to pop up here and I'm going to need to have some bees. Well, I had a good idea in painting the hives today, but it would take forever to mix up this can of paint. This was the cheapest crap I ever got anyway. You have to put like 2 or 3 coats on it. It's like a barn white. So I think I'll just wait and buy a whole new can. Well, since I can't paint the beehives, I'll show you what I planted in the garden here this week. I have planted a whole row of Pontiac red potatoes. I've got 17 of those planted, and then I got some potatoes, some white superiors, and over here some yellow gold rush. So those were in fact I planted them earlier this week, and I was going to do it a few days prior to that, but it was snowing like crazy, so I decided to wait. So you could see the weather was pretty crappy that day, but then I got these all planted, and then the following day after work I come out here and got all my onions. I've got 2 rows of white, 2 rows of red, and 1 row of yellow, and these are just 8-foot roll. I think I got about 100 onions planted in here, just the sets, so these will be bulb onions. And then over here I did 1 row of, these are planted deeper, so these will be green onions that I can just harvest the whole time through. As far as the rest of the garden here goes, now I won't be planting anything in here until Mother's Day or later. We have just such a late frost time here that you just don't dare plant anything. I'll plant the seeds then, and then maybe some of the plants, but most of the plants I wait until Memorial Weekend. That's when I do all my tomatoes, because we have a serious frost threat here until at least that time. I've even had them get frosted after that date, but I really like to get them in the ground Memorial Weekend. I was just out here looking at the fruit trees. This tree right here, this one I planted 2 years ago. This one is my Honeycrisp apple, my favorite kind of apple. That one you can see here. The little leaves are starting to come through, and it's all the way to the top, so nothing got frost damaged or anything. I've got 2 of these Northern Lights apples, and this one here, you can see, it's all starting to get some leaves on it. This one here is another Northern Lights apple, and this one here too. It's all starting. This one here is a Toka plum, and you can see this one here is one of those ones that's going to get flowers before it gets leaves, and this thing I think is really, hopefully, going to get a lot of plums on it. This one here, a Pembina plum, this was the first one to lose its leaves last fall, and I was worried that it was dying off, because I mean I just planted, except for that first tree, I planted all these last year, but this one here, right up to the end, it's got color, so this one's coming in good too. Okay everyone, well thanks a lot for watching. I think I did plenty of stuff today. I think I'm going to grab myself a beer, pull up my chair, and watch the garden grow. I'll see you guys on the next video.